What's going on, everybody? Doc and Sloth back again. Currently, we're sitting in the little Halo Wars Definitive Edition, but there's a ton of launch details that just came out a few days ago that we wanted to cover for Halo Wars 2. So Sloth's actually going to help me out. We're going to just be playing some quick skirmish games here and really not playing them. He's just going to help me kind of boost a little bit to knock out the last of the achievements before Halo Wars 2 comes out. But Sloth, a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of good details.
I'm going to have to talk so fast. There's so much. Yeah, we have a ton of things. We're going to have a ton of links in the description. The first of which, 343 said, hey, we're going to go ahead and toss out some packs. If you've played Halo Wars 1 or the Halo Wars Definitive Edition, we're going to give you these packs. We'll go ahead and link those, but basically you played the Blitz beta, if you booted it up, you played a map, cool, there's 2 packs there. Halo Wars 1 on the 360 and Halo Wars Definitive Edition on the Xbox One. If you played Play in the Field, or you got, pardon me, the achievement Playing the Field for each of those, and Adjudicate the Arbiter, which was for beating the campaign on Heroic, correct?
Yes, so beating the campaign on Heroic,
Okay.
and then Playing the Field was using each of the leaders at least one time in a skirmish match, either online or in a different game mode.
So get all of those. You actually are looking at 4 per game, per version of Halo Wars, and then the 2 for the beta. So you can have 10 packs as soon as you boot the game up, which is fantastic. Super excited for that. The really big things that I'm excited about: Halo Wars 2 balance changes and general improvements. This is where the meat and potatoes is, man. The first thing they have listed: reduced the Locust and Blood Fuel Locust DPS health and shields. We did it. We did it, Internet. We got together and we did it. We've taken down the almighty Locust. That's a huge nerf, man. DPS, health, and shields. I still think the Locust is going to be a good unit, just because of its utility and its movement and stuff. But it's not going to be super OP, and that is awesome. We had a big chat about it in our video about what needs to be changed from the beta and stuff, and that was one of them. Well, that was my main point. I've been crying about the Locust for a long time. The other thing that was really cool is actually the Scarab. They've changed the Scarab. It can hit units close to it now. You can't hide underneath the Scarab anymore. Little things like that, and there's a ton of little fixes. The other thing I'm excited for, card hand and units not responding. They fixed that bug, and that to me it felt clunky. I did not appreciate how it felt to play cards out of your hand, and a lot of times I play the wrong cards. I think you had that problem a couple times too, Doc.
Yeah. Oh man, I did. Again, as Sloth said, ton of little small just improvements, game responsiveness, fixing some server side stuff. All just really improving the quality of the matchmaking, which is really awesome to see. But we were kind of chatting about this before we started, recording, and responsiveness of the hard hand inputs, and just how fast and how capable. And again, even the units not responding. I can remember there were some close games that we were in, Sloth, together that we either almost lost or did lose because you'd have a main unit like a vulture sitting somewhere, and it's sitting in one point, and you can't move it. So obviously those are things. That's why they do the beta. So these are all great improvements. Again, we mentioned Locust. We knew that thing was going to get changed. It's just it is what it is. It happens. But I am glad. It seems like they've done a great job with the community to get the feedback from the beta, see what the actual analytics from the beta was. Leader balances and stuff like that, and then also specific units. What we will link down below, as Lost said in the comments or in the description below, is actually going to be the official Halo Waypoint forums by Sketch, who talks about all this stuff. So it's going to have the Halo Wars 2, the official launch trailer. It's going to have both of the kind of really funny commercials that me and Sloth have been talking about a little bit in some other videos. So definitely go and check those out. And then again, it has all of the stuff that we're talking about here. They have a huge section on the Blitz beta follow-up, which is really what we're kind of talking through and picking some specifics. One thing I think is interesting, they got a lot of questions regarding specific unit changes. and they didn't go super in detail depth, minus the locust. Um, but one thing I guess that kept coming up was talking about the Spartans and the balance of the Spartans. And the team basically says along the lines of, they're great. They're really appreciative of the feedback, and then two, they want to consider, they consider the Spartans being those elite heroes. They want them to live up to the lore. So they're going to look at every single unit, and it highlights in caps all units, for changes, balances, post the beta, and then obviously again once post the game actually comes out and they get some more data with everybody being able to play it. But I just think it's interesting. It seems like they really have their finger on the pulse of this. And the other thing that we were talking about too, again, a lot of other small improvements and changes. We'll highlight some of those here in a second. But the ranking system, specifically kind of like the competitive side ranking system. This is one thing me and Sloth were talking about. But the competitive rank is not going to be visible. There is going to be kind of a server side, backside competitive rank structure that you'll have at the beginning. But you will not be able to see that like up front. That is something that they are going to roll out later. And Sloth, you were talking with me a little bit about this. I think it was for kind of similar to what they did in Halo 5. So I don't know if you want to expand on that.
Yeah, right out of the gate, we are not going to have a tier system. So like Doc said, there's going to be hidden MMR, so matchmaking rank, pardon me. But there's not going to be skill tiers. So I'm not going to be in gold versus you're going to be in platinum. That's not going to be there. Everything is going to be hidden. So they did talk about, Sketch talked about having those things implemented later. I'm a little hesitant about it because with Master Chief Collection and Halo 5, they said, yeah, X, Y, and Z will be out soon after launch. And it was a little bit longer than some of us wanted to wait. But that's how things were in Halo 5. Even in, say, the social playlists and stuff, there was still a hidden MMR, for better or for worse. But that's the way all of the multiplayer is going to run for Halo Wars 2. I don't know how I feel about that. I obviously would like to see the tiers so that we have a little better understanding. It's not really kind of a bragging type thing. I don't think for most people. It's I'm gold and I want to hit platinum, and I'm playing this guy and I beat them and they're platinums. I'm on the right track. All of that. I mean, I think a lot of that plays in. So I'm a little hesitant. I don't know how I really feel about that on whole, but I do appreciate that there is an MMR period. They could have just gone with just play whoever. That sounds kind of silly, but I mean, in this day and age, you never know.
Right.
So,
right. The one thing I
don't
will
know.
say that it seems like just reading this post again, and this is probably one of the longer responses they have. They give a couple reasons why they're going to do this. One, and this makes perfect sense to me. I do have the same hesitation as Sloth does, so don't kind of take my counter comments to mean that I don't. Obviously, if it's a system, and like you said, people want to know and people want to be competitive. In any Halo game, in any game really that has a multiplayer, you want to be able to be competitive. So I think they should have come with a rank structure, even a very simple one at first. Something, but we're not getting it, so we can't complain too much there. Hopefully it does come pretty quickly after they release. But there's a couple sentences here that does make me feel a little bit better. One, they're talking about delaying a ranked seasonal mode until the team has time to respond to like synergies, balancing issues, and just people generally playing the game and getting a ton of feedback. So I can understand that. So if for some reason they get, they're going to get a lot more feedback off of the initial release. They're going to get a lot more feedback off of, just the game being played initially. So I think that's good that they kind of want to sit back and say, hey, we're going to wait. We're going to get even more data. We're going to figure out how to really balance the unit. And if there's one strategy that's just like absolutely dominating, We want to be able to take, a little bit of time, fix that strategy by balancing units to make the game fun and actually competitive for everybody. That way you're not facing down, one or two strategies, kind of like a little bit of what Halo Wars 1 was. Um, so I can appreciate that. And then two, they also talk about how they want to link time ranked playlists and seasons with DLC releases, which also makes sense. That you're getting a big patch update release, new content's coming. It would make sense for seasons to kind of end when those new things come out. So I can see their, mentality. I can see why they're wanting to do it. It does make sense to me. But like you said, hopefully it doesn't take them too long to implement that initially. And then I'll also be curious to see kind of what the conversion is. Say me and you go on a tear and we're number, one in the world because we're just the best at this game. Hopefully when we actually get the ranking system, it doesn't put us in the bottom 10%. So yeah. It'll just be interesting to see.
It does kind of make sense with you saying that. There was quite a large amount of confusion when Halo 5 was starting its ranked progression, and the funny thing is people were able to look and they say, we have way more people in the Onyx tier than we have in the Silver tier. That doesn't make sense. Everything is too highly weighted. So I think that could be a danger of saying, okay, an MMR of 150 to 200 is going to be Onyx, and 125 to 150 just below that is going to be Diamond. What if we have a huge amount of people at 150? Then you shouldn't have your skill tiers set up so that like your highest tiers are just jam-packed with people,
right,
and there's not many people in the lower tiers. So I do get that. I don't know. I just kind of feel like I've been burned by the we'll do it right after launch kind of thing. So this is a really good opportunity for 343 to earn back some trust, I think, from a lot of people, and I know it's Creative Assembly that's handling this, but at the end of the day, it falls on the head of 343. They hold the IP. So Sketch is the community guy for 343, and he's handling all this stuff for Halo Wars 2 for Creative Assembly as well. So it really seems like 343's at the forefront. They're saying, yes, Creative Assembly's doing that, but it's at our behest. So right, they do, I think, have a good opportunity to earn some people back. There has been a lot of pushback with Blitz mode, period. We did see the initial pricing for Blitz packs and the bundles of packs. And I'll see if I can find that. They average out to a little less than $1 per pack, depending, of course, on how many you buy. But the other thing with that is we've also learned Sketch has confirmed that we're only getting Proving Grounds for Blitz. That is the only map right now. Which that's, I mean, man, I don't know. Like that's kind of a big shot in the arm to Blitz, I feel like.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say again, I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate here. It does seem like they've done a really good job, especially with the 2 betas that they've had, to listen to the community. So obviously, I think all these things, obviously, so many people are asking about them, and that's what they're highlighting here. So these are probably the top tier things that they're looking at as far as things that they need to roll out. So I'm gonna hold out faith. I wasn't so burned by Halo 5 because I didn't as much care about the competitive rank structure, but I can totally understand the community's feelings. I'm just going to hold out hope that, again, they're doing the right things here. But like you said, Proving Grounds being the only map, that does sting a little bit in my mind. Obviously, that's not what 100% what Blitz is about. But I mean, it's hard to bring out a new game mode. And this is kind of one thing that you are toting as being a major difference from the first game, and you're only going to bring out the one map. I don't know. It definitely seems, again, from the post, you guys can read through it, additional maps that fans want to see in the future. That's the feedback that they're looking for. To me, it almost seems like I imagine regular multiplayer is going to have a pretty good amount of maps in it. Um, why not
8.
adjust? Yeah, why not adjust some of those? Some of those 8 to maybe fit for Blitz, and maybe they talk a little bit in here about one question we raised during the beta. Hey, do you want to increase the amount of points it takes, maybe for 3v3s or something like that? And they stuck pretty hard to their guns on this one, and basically said, no, we don't want to, because Blitz is all about close quarters, like quick fights, and like kind of high stress, um, and that makes sense to me. So maybe the maps
Yeah.
they have, aren't capable of that. That seems kind of like a cop out. You could probably cut the maps, but I think that's something with the first DLC release we'll probably get right away. So I'll hold out hope there, but that is a great point to make. Um, Going back, just a few other things. I want to kind of keep this rolling as far as we talk about, all the release details. If you're on Xbox and you have pre-ordered it, honestly, it should be downloaded for you right now. If it's not, make sure you get into the game, download it, get that thing going. I can't even remember how many gigs. It's pretty big.
24.
Yeah, 24. That sounds about right. So make sure you get in. Make sure you got the download. There's also a few things. Just make sure you go into your game, go to manage it if you do have it, and there's a few other additional things. If you did get like the definitive edition, for instance, you're getting an additional Isabel Blitz pack right up front, which is going to have some of her mainstay cards, it seems like, in it, right up front. There's also, and I know Sloth, you're going to want to talk about this. Talk about what else we're getting that you can download for free right now.
Drum roll, please. On the Windows Store and on the Xbox Store, Sargent Forge is available. It
Yes.
was not a troll. I was excited about this. He is free regardless of what version you have. So that puts us at 7 leaders up front. And I am pretty confident I know who the 8th is. The 4th of the Banished. If you paid attention in the main menus of both the normal beta and the Blitz beta, there was another banished guy that looked kind of scary. He was in like almost a Cyclops exoskeleton kind of thing with these big robotic arms and stuff. I am betting money he is going to be our 8th in the achievement list. It does mention doing certain actions, playing multiplayer with each of the 6 original leaders. So I still feel like we're going to get that 4th banished leader pretty close to launch too. So I was really excited to see Forge come in. The description on the Xbox Store does make it sound like it's kind of just a multiplayer only thing. It talks about him coming back from the grave to fight Equinox, to fight Atriox. So it does seem like it is just a multiplayer only thing. But it's so cool. I'm really happy they weren't just screwing with us in the Blitz beta, because I was kind of hesitant, but I'm really excited for him.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome, and I think that's gonna be one thing too that kind of keeps this game fresh as well. As we kind of roll through, it's great that we get him up front. I think that's super awesome. Obviously, they teased him a little bit in the beta, so kudos to everybody that played the beta and got to see that a little bit ahead of time. But I think this is another area that they can expand on as their DLC kind of rolls through, which for this game, it feels like a pretty good deal, in my opinion, to get the Ultimate Edition. You're picking up, again, what we're playing right now, Halo Wars 1. You're getting all Halo Wars 2, the whole season pass. I mean, to me, it just makes sense. But that is one area that I think introducing new leaders, introducing new units, new cards, especially for Blitz, if that's kind of the mode that, again, I feel like they're kind of toting as, this is the big difference. This is what should draw, new people into the game. I think that's one area that it can really expand on. So I'm super happy for that. You told me about it. We both went over to the store at the same time and instantly downloaded it. So if you haven't, make sure you hop over there, get that downloaded so you got it right up front when you get it. One other thing I have to note, it says in the Xbox Store, if you go into Manage a Game, or you go to pre-order it, you are going to be able to get it on the 16th at 11 p.m. Now, we're in Eastern Standard Time, so it's 11 p.m. for us. Just kind of keep that in mind because I know it officially releases on the 17th. For those that have the pre-order, you get it 4 days early. Everybody else, you got to wait till that following Tuesday, which that's totally cool. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Sloth, I believe you guys watch this and still pre-order before that, you're going to be able to get it early. So I would recommend it.
Yeah, absolutely. That, and there's also the whole day of the 16th. They're doing Halo Wars 2 live. 343 and Creative Assembly are doing this whole big live stream all day long. They're going to be doing like giveaways and exclusive interviews and all this exclusive content all day the 16th. So I'm definitely of the mind that this game is definitely going to be worth it. We've had a blast playing it. Hopefully, if you're watching it and gotten this far, you agree. Definitely encourage you to check out and at least consider the Ultimate Edition, because then you'll get to join us on the 16th, almost at midnight at 11 o'clock. So I know I'm going to be working a lot the day before because I'm trying to take as much time as possible to get my hands on Halo Wars 2. But I'm going to be checking in as much as possible to see this kind of cool live stream. 343 did a similar thing with Halo 5 before Halo 5 came out. It was really neat, man. It was cool. It was definitely worth checking out. So that's something that we're going to be kind of paying attention to as well.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. As Sloth said, we're going to have a ton of stuff. I know a lot of viewers of the channel, this is probably how you got started with us. Halo Wars 2, the Blitz beta was a lot of the content that we put up. We really appreciate all the support. Honestly, that was a huge boost to us because, again, we were excited to do this channel. We've been talking about doing this for a long time. And then seeing the support initially for all those videos, especially for that game, was really neat. So we appreciate it. But we can promise you a ton of content coming initially after release and then throughout that rest of the week and even after that as we kind of explore deeper into the game, get familiar with the other modes. I really didn't get a big chance to play the regular multiplayer beta, which is one thing I wanted to highlight real quick. They are also looking at changes for that beta as well. In the final release of the game, population cap was one that they talked about from the summer 2016 beta. So they said that feedback and performance, they're going to optimize those as well. So that is definitely, they're looking at not just the Blitz beta, but the summer beta as well. And then the achievement list that Sloth was talking about a little bit below is also in this post, which again we'll have linked in the description. And achievement guides is something else that we've wanted to really jump into. So there's quite a bit that we're going to be able to do. Really excited. There's a good amount of Blitz firefight stuff that we're going to be able to do. So we're really happy for all that. So definitely stick with us. Check out the channel. Stay kind of linked in. Make sure you guys subscribe because that's going to give you those notifications. There's this little bell thing that next to the subscribe. Once you subscribe, you can hit it and it'll notify you once we drop a new video. I can promise you that weekend that it comes out, we'll be having a ton of stuff going up on the channel.
Yeah, a lot of plans, achievement guides, walkthroughs, in-depth analysis of both Blitz and the changes from beta, decks, synergy decks for 2-on-2, 3-on-3, a lot of things, unit comparisons. We have a lot planned for this game, so feel free to subscribe. Throw down in some comments what you're excited for. We've talked about a ton of stuff. There's been a lot of stuff that we've gleaned this week from Creative Assembly and 343. So anything that you're super excited about, not really wild about, this, that, or the other, feel free to throw it down in the comments and subscribe to stay tuned in. We are going to bring a ton of content, like Doc said, for this awesome game that's coming out.
Yeah, we're super psyched, guys. So hopefully we covered a lot of stuff here. Again, we'll have that link down below for the actual forum post. Read through it, get familiar with it. And like Sauce said, subscribe. And we look forward to you guys checking out in the next week the rest of the videos that'll be coming up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I've been Doc. That's been Sloth. We are Average Gamer, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you very soon.
Bye.